Hello, DC fans. This is J.A.R. 369, and welcome back for another figure review. Today, I'll be taking a look at the Superman, the movie from the 1970s. Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor, made by Spin Master. Yeah, it's pretty interesting that Spin Master is doing like one of those Star Wars like art figures. Like I was expecting to be like, oh, I don't know, similar to the superpowers figures or the Batman Forever figures as Spin Master re-released them. But I didn't expect them to be. They're doing the one that's basically based on these, like, similar to the Star Wars figures, which makes sense because those style figures do exist in the 1970s when the old Star Wars film came out. Yeah, yeah, it's almost identical. Let me compare to the vintage collection version of this of a Star Wars figure. Well, the bubble is a bit different, I would say. Like in the pack for this packaging, it doesn't show like the character's image. It just shows the movie poster, unlike the Star Wars retro carded and vintage collection. But the cards, I would say, almost almost the same, like somehow the same size. If you look at it sideways, almost identical. While yeah, pretty interesting, I would say. So take a look at the figure. The packaging for the figure, you get the name right there and the window exposing the figure and the accessories. On the back here, there's other 6 figures from the Superman 1970s film line. You get Superman, Jor-El, Lois Lane, and another Jor-El. Yeah, both versions, the black suited and the white suited, and of course General Zod, which I also have. Which is funny because if you have like the retro collection, they don't, or the vintage collection, they don't do that anymore. But for the retro collection, they just show the names. So let me just put this away for comparing. So let's focus on this figure. But anyway, let's take out Lex Luthor out of his package. Here is Lex Luthor out of his package. Let's take a closer look at the figure. Take a little closer look at the head sculpt there. Now, the likeness to the late great Gene Hackman, well, it isn't. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not the best either. But again, well, I reviewed some of the old figures, like the retro collection from Star Wars and the Superpowers Superman that I reviewed yesterday. But yeah, the likeness isn't perfect, to be honest. Yeah, which makes sense because they did it on purpose for it to be like, old school figure. Yeah, it's still not too bad. I can see some resemblance to Gene Hackman with the hair on. But still, again, no likeness to him. And take a look at his whole outfit here, the suited outfit. You can see there's like a green color right there on his suit there. There's like a little splashy paint there. Ooh. You can see the little flower right there. And you got the white handkerchief right there. You got 2 buttons right there. And take a look at the hands. You can see they're like holding on, gripping hands. And there's some wrinkles to it. And also you can see there's like a little ring right there. And the watch, I think that's a watch. Yeah, nothing much, just a plain blue suit there, but there's some legalese right there, back of his legs. And some wrinkles there as well. Take a look at the shoes, the fancy looking shoes, but nothing much, it's plain black. But on the bottom, there is like a little serial number right there, and no pegholes in the bottom of the feet. Like, what? Come on, Spin Master, why you didn't include the peg holes? Who knows? At least it doesn't fall off easily. But overall, not too bad looking figure. The likeness to Gene Hackman isn't great, but again, it's on purpose because of, how old school figures have that doesn't look resembles to the actor. But still really decent. Now moving on to articulation. The head doesn't fully rotate on mine. I feel like it's stuck, so be careful. The arms to go fully rotate. The legs kick forward and back. So that's about it. Just the usual 5 points of articulation for your old school figure. Accessories wise, he does come with a newspaper that says twin nuclear missiles test confirmed before Lex stole them. You can either put it on his hands like so, just like that. And for the gimmick here is, I mean, there is no gimmick, but if you already saw the package, the hair is removable. Yeah. Now you got fully on Lex Luthor. Yeah, I might display him with his wig on. Yeah, the wig itself looks pretty good. Very well sculpted, I would say. Yeah, I got a feeling like I put his wig back on, but then but until you see the ears, looks like I didn't. Thankfully for Spin Master doing that. But I feel like you can see his head is a bit too big. I don't know why Spin Master made that, which is really weird. Yeah, I might easily display him with the wig on because he has a wig throughout the movie until the end where he finally took off his wig. So I might leave it on there as on here. I wish he included like the kryptonite necklace that he forced Superman to wear, but that includes the Superman figure, which makes you want to buy the Superman figure. But overall, for this Lex Luthor figure, I'd say it's really not too bad. I mean, even though the likeness isn't like the late great Gene Hackman, but still, again, Spin Master does that on purpose because, you know, to pay homage to old school action figures. Articulation is just the 5 points of articulation. The accessories, it's really weird how, like, there's like a book, it just turns into a newspaper, which is really interesting. I really like the feature, like, it came with the removable wig. That's awesome. I mean, sculpting wise, decent. The paint adds a little bit of splash on the collar right there, but still really a decent looking figure. Yeah, I do recommend getting them. They're available at Target for about $8, which is not bad, not too bad at all. I mean, compared to Super 7, they cost like around $20. You know, the reaction figures. Yeah, pretty too expensive for those. But I'm pretty impressed by this Lex Luthor figure. Thankfully, I got a General Zod figure. Now I need to find Superman. Hopefully, if Spin Master did not lose the license for DC, hopefully we'll get like a Supergirl figure or Nuclear Man based on like the Star Wars line. Well, if you're a big like one of those, if you collect one of those Star Wars figures from the 70s to 80s, then I would suggest getting this figure. If you're a big fan of those type of figures. For my rate, I'm gonna give Lex Luthor, I'll give him like an 8 out of 10 for me. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please consider like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And follow me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. All 3 links will be in the description down below. That's all I have to say. This is the Superman 1970s movie Lex Luthor figure made by Spin Master. And this is J.A.R. 369. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on my next review. And remember, keep on collecting.